I gotta share the show.
Go share it.
I will. Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Thursday, and of course, Brian here, and I am joined with my co-host, author, and just everything in between, Daniel Payton. There's nothing he has not done or is not doing currently. Really.
Yeah, I'm super complicated and jack of all trades. I'm good at I'm decent at many things, but not expert at any except maybe writing, and that I don't really claim expert.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm here. Survived one of the wildest Comic Cons I've ever been to this past weekend, and glad to be here.
Where were we?
I was in Canterbury Village, which is in Lake Orion, Michigan, which is about 40 minutes from where I live, so it's very close.
Mm-hmm.
But Canterbury Village is a permanent little. It's hard to describe what it is. It's like a theme park. It's a small arrangement of classic homes and buildings and churches and stuff that they've gathered to. They hold festivals and events and fairs and stuff there, indoor, outdoor, all kinds of stuff. And this was their very first time to try Comic-Con. And it was outdoors. And so my very first time to ever do, as I mentioned before, a Comic-Con outside, sitting and table up, everything all outdoors. That was part of the problem, but it was definitely a unique experience.
There you go.
Hello, John and Valerie. Glad to see you're here.
Yes. Hello. Welcome. Hello, everyone. I want to see if this chat works. Anything else coming up that you have to do?
Actually, I've got a bit of a break. I had stuff scheduled for the end of September, but things kind of fell through on it. So I'm now open, but that's giving me time to work on projects, books I need to get done. We have the next Dragon One book coming out this holiday season. So we got to get the final parts of that put together. I've got a book with a new publisher that I'm trying to pitch to them. I've got several short stories that I'm working through for contests. I've got stuff for Heroes Rising. So literally, I'm using the open time to fill it with a lot of writing and preparing and editing and formatting and all that fun stuff to do, produce what I do.
Right.
So my next event that I'm pretty sure I'm doing is not until November. I leave October pretty open because there's not a lot of events, honestly, in October. Usually, and there's not for like book signings, but I'm usually busy in October because that's the month we end up getting ready and doing all kinds of stuff for church and family and all that for the holiday season. So I end up October every year is always busy with that. So I rarely have shows then.
Gotcha. Where is everyone else? I'm missing quite a few people here.
Yeah.
We need to like and share. I forgot. So, yeah, if you're watching, please like and share. Hello, John. John's been working on a new book, he says.
Nice.
What kind of book? I'm interested to know.
Tell us about it. We need to have John on here to interview.
John Clark. Yeah. Maybe I knew he wrote. Now I'm interested.
Hello, Amber.
More people. My aunt. Hello. Welcome. All right. Anyways. So, people are talking about fall. People are changing everything to fall. The leaves are starting to change. It's here. September is almost here. So with that comes pumpkin spice. Everything is pumpkin spice now. So go get your pumpkin spice. Hello to my sister. Welcome. And of course, so now I have to prepare the show for the paranormal. for October. And of course, everyone's waiting for Sylvia Schultz to come on because that's an every year thing. So I need to reach out to her and catch her now before she gets too busy. According to my sister, pumpkin spice is nasty. Do you like pumpkin spice? Do you have it? If you have a coffee or something with it in
I
it?
like a pumpkin spice flavoring that's good, and in certain things, I like it more in like pastries.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
for me for like coffee. The only seasoning like that I ever put in coffee is like cinnamon. I'll put cinnamon in coffee because it gives it a extra boost. But the full variety of flavor with pumpkin spice and all that, their pumpkin pie spice really is what it is. Um, Sometimes it's too much. I like it in pastries.
There you
Modern
go.
fantasy, a story of how Futurina accidentally became a hero. Okay, yep.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's something when I have, of course, published books that are superhero, and I often describe them as sci-fi because it really is science fiction, or you definitely can have superhero that's fantasy. Superhero as its own independent genre is kind of hard to tell people. Like, oh, this is superhero. Oh, is it a comic book? No, 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 it's a novel. Oh, well, okay, it's science fiction. Oh, okay, and they grab it up after that. So you have to kind of set it into a genre that's broader.
That's true. That's true.
Hello, Barbara.
Hello to my grandmother. Hello. Welcome. Now we're filling up. So anyway, Halloween is right around the corner. We just have to get through September. So I mean, we usually like to do something for Halloween on the show. So, like I said, hopefully I can get Sylvia Schultz on. And in the meantime, I'm going to reach out and find some paranormal authors, investigators, and whoever else would like to come on in the meantime. So, yeah. So if anyone has any ideas, throw them out and let us know.
Yep. If you have anybody you know that is into any of these fields, send them our direction. We'll talk to them and see if we can get them on the show.
Absolutely.
I'm not and Brian probably knows this. I'm not a big horror fan, ghost fan. That's just not my usual field. To me, I take October and I call it my fantasy month. That's when like I watch like the Harry Potter movies, read the fantasy books. To me it's fantasy more than anything else. So I like Halloween. I grew up loving Halloween, but I love the fanciful part of it more than the horror part of it.
I live on this side of the country. So over here, Halloween is Halloween.
Yeah.
Some people go to extremes and some just don't care at all and are bah humbug, go away, and are stingy and don't give out candy, whatever. But Massachusetts, Halloween, we have Salem. So we got to be big on Halloween, right? So
most places I've been to, it's definitely I am in the minority when it comes to that. But it's not that I know people just hate the whole thing. And I'm like, no, I don't. I like the more fanciful side of it than I do the horror side of it. So I can enjoy it to a degree. I mean, to me, I like stuff like Nightmare Before Christmas or the the Disney Halloween stuff. That works for me. But true horror, no, not my.
Well, I am not. I'm not really into that stuff. I don't like haunted houses. I'm kind of with you on some of that stuff. I don't watch most of that movies, but I have been recently, funnily enough. So, when you meet someone who is into something that you normally do not watch, it's eye-opening and just blows your mind with some of it anyways. So so I've been watching horror and suspense thrillers. No blood and guts though. I'm not going to watch that though.
Now,
like
there's been
Chainsaw Massacre. I don't think I'm gonna watch that. I don't know.
now I'm not big on like the whole true gore slasher. That really is
Yeah,
outside of my
no,
spectrum.
yeah, no, thank you. But I mean, I like it. I mean, so far, anyways. I mean, it's all right. So certain ones. Is your family one to pass candy out?
Oh yes. Oh
Ah,
yes. Now, where
oh,
we live here in Michigan, we don't get any trick or treaters, but that's actually because in Southeast Michigan, around Detroit, for a long time, Halloween became a night when a lot of people, particularly gangs, would get out and literally set things on fire. And so they put a huge, hard curfew on Halloween to prevent the craziness. It was solid weekends of it. And so people started doing Halloween. They would have events at like a church or a community center or something for the kids. No trick or treating. So you don't see that much trick or treating where we're at. They have all kinds of big Halloween showcases and trunk or treats and stuff out there, but not neighborhood things. So here we did first year we lived here, we bought tons of candy and no kids. Back in Tennessee, our neighborhood was trick or treat central, and we would go all out. I'd have the whole house decked out. I'd have all kinds of candy. I'd dress in costume. I'd have music playing. It was the whole thing, and the whole neighborhood did that. So
yeah.
yeah, for a good almost 20 years, I loved doing it, and I would do it here if they did, but they don't.
I would if I could. I live in an apartment building, so no trick or treaters here. I can go somewhere where there will be trick or treaters. Thank God. So yeah. Um, Anybody else here? Yes, no, trick or treaters. Do you give out candy, or anyone have kids? You can't do it. I mean, you got to bring them out to get them candy.
I'll say that this year I'm looking at volunteering. Our church is doing a trunk or treat. They do it around the church, and they need people to kind of help organize it. And I'm thinking about doing that because I do enjoy doing this kind of stuff for the kids, especially. Making it fun. Amber says I give out too much.
That is true. She does. She does. Absolutely.
It is getting expensive.
That is true. Yep. Anybody else? I mean, like I said, I would. What kind of candy did you guys like have a certain type of candy that you would give out?
I actually would try to get a pretty good mix of candy, but we would go and buy nicer stuff, not the little bitty Halloween treat size, but not full size, but actual just basic candy. So
Right.
that when we hand like a couple pieces to a kid, it was actually two large things, not just little bitty pieces of candy. So, but we try to mix it up, and I always tried to have Tootsie Roll mixes, the Tootsie Roll brand stuff, because it is nut allergy free. And so I would have kids come up and their parents like, well, they can't have any peanuts. And I'm like, well, okay, I have this so they can have something. Everybody got something.
Hmm.
Because that was something I also did all those years is my mother and I were in charge of our church's fall festival, which is the Halloween celebration. And we would do the candy and we would give out a half-gallon bag of candy to every kid. Mix of all kinds. And church people would donate all this candy. And we'd mix it up, put in there, and we'd always have to be very careful. Some bags couldn't have any kind of nut stuff in it for the nut allergy. Some bags couldn't have any dairy label products like chocolates and stuff. So we spent a good 2 days with people organizing bags so that every kid got something. Because I know, it's sad when a kid has a problem and they're like, I'm sorry, we can't give anything to you because we only have this one thing.
Right. Yeah.
So we learned that and we started doing it at home. So it worked out. But you're right. Amber's, we're definitely right. It gets more and more expensive every year. And I
Well,
also think people should think outside of candy. There's fun stuff you can give to kids. You can buy it. Look at Oriental Trading Company, looking at some of the stuff where you have the little toys, little pins, little things like that you can give to kids. That's not candy, but it's fun. It's a neat little thing for them.
Oh, my aunt knows all about the Oriental Trading Company. Isn't that right, Steph? Ooh, bought
My
two
mother got hooked on that, so she's constantly ordering.
crafts, all those crafts over the years. My goodness, making those picture frames and cups and my goodness, I remember all that. So yeah, um, I don't know.
I think one of the nights for our show in October, Brian and I should have a pumpkin carving contest.
Um, okay, you know, I haven't carved a pumpkin in oh wow, long time. A pumpkin carving
Well,
contest. All right.
you and I could each carve a pumpkin, and we could also get people who are on here to show off a pumpkin they've carved, and let people on here vote on who's the best. And
Okay.
I think that would be fun.
All right. I'm willing to do that. That's fine. All right. So, well, wait a minute now. What are we going to carve? I'm not a master carver or anything.
I've
Does it
carved
matter
one
how?
pumpkin in like
Does it
20
matter?
years.
Does it matter how it's carved? Because I'll cheat and just like get one of those paper things and just do
Go
the.
ahead.
Okay. Oh, I'm allowed to use those like kits or
As
something.
long as it's a real pumpkin and
Okay.
you carve it however you want to carve it, make it as wild as you want to. Traditional, artistic, Disney, whatever.
Anybody have any ideas?
Would anybody on here want to join us and carve a pumpkin for us to show?
Oh, go away, rain.
Oh, you're gonna. We got the storms last night. I think those are the ones we had are now joining you.
Right?
It was a 6 hour solid thunderstorm last night, all night long. It was awful, and we're so flooded around here. It flooded the airport, and they're still not able to get cars in and out of the airport area. Amber says that she sucks at doing pumpkins. As I said, I've done one pumpkin carving in 20 years, so I can't promise it's going to be glorious. It's the fun of doing it.
That's true. I'm not an like I said, I'm not an expert at it. I did have a pumpkin carving person on a show one time.
I was gonna say that we should look for a guest for that particular night who is a pumpkin carving expert to be here and talk about pumpkin carving techniques and what he does, and then get a good laugh at what we do.
Well, that would be probably a whole hour show.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last time I did it, I mean, the poor guy was trying to do a design on the pumpkin that just was so time consuming. I think I remember, yeah, and he was trying to do it so fast, and people were watching, and I'm just like, oh man, this isn't going very well. So yeah, but it was all right. It was my first time having a pumpkin carver on the show, so I don't know if people remember that were watching me. So yeah,
I actually think I remember that one.
oh, I
It was
felt
a while
bad.
back.
I mean, it was all right, but yeah, it was interesting to say the least. But all right, a pumpkin carving contest. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. All right. Oh my God, I have not done pumpkins in a long time, but okay. So I have to get a pumpkin. So this is for next month, correct?
And for October, we're still in August.
Oh, wait. So, oh, October. Oh, all right. Oh, then I got plenty of time. What the hell am I thinking? I'm thinking it's September already. Oh my goodness. I need to slow down.
I wouldn't mind skipping straight to October, but that's just me.
That's true. That is true. Um,
Now
I'm
you notice we both have different backgrounds. I'm
oh,
a different part of my house, so I've got a different background, and you are currently in a stately library, dining. What is this?
I'm I'm glad you asked, but it's not stately. He would probably like it to be stately. So this has to do with a book that's going to be starting a new series for me. So everyone knows about Murder in Stratton County. I know people have been listening, the murder mystery. So that has come to an end. So I'm done with the current series. So now I'm actually moving over to the paranormal, which is kind of something I really haven't touched on. So it's going to be new for me. If people have been listening, one of the characters kind of is going to be leading into the new series. So you kind of meet him early on, and I kind of set the stage as to what he's going to be doing. So it has to take place in a house that is haunted. So currently, this is the drawing room of the house. It's a very big Victorian house. So yes, um, but the guy pretty much gets pulled back in time. So it's going to be even more interesting because that's something I've never done either.
Hmm.
So we're going back in time, folks. So, and I think I just let that slip for the first time because I haven't told anyone that part of it. So now I just made it more interesting. So yeah, there you go. So this is inside his house, Ryan's house, that he's going to be buying, which happens to be in Stratton, but it's kind of off to the side and out of the way. So there we go.
Nice.
That's my background.
I actually I like writing in historical settings because it gives you an opportunity to do a lot of research. I love researching, and you don't have to research to a degree level, but you can definitely get details right, and it's fun to read because then you start learning stuff like, oh, I didn't know they did this then, or that
Yeah.
was how that worked, and it can be interesting because the smallest little feature, like how did they heat their room, how did they is interesting, and then you can incorporate that in the story and it makes it feel
Oh,
real.
they use that nice little fireplace back there. Looks a little dirty though. It's gonna have to be cleaned. But yeah, I do have to do research because technically the house was used as a funeral home in like the 1800s. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of some reading and research and stuff like that. So
Is this an actual location you're basing this on?
no,
Okay,
so
so
I can have fun with it and
yeah.
pretty much do whatever I want, but I do need to learn certain elements of how, in the kind of time period they ran funeral homes pretty much.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good to pick a funeral home from that time and loosely base it on that one, because then you could use very specific elements of that one to help you build your
Right.
house, build your story.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done with a lot of stories that I've written. That even if it's modern setting, if it's a fictional town, a fictional building, I'll
Yeah.
find a real building that's like it in somewhere else and go, okay, I researched that and then used most of it in my story, but not all of it.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's the reason for the background. Yeah.
My reason is that I just wanted to have different things behind me. I'll tell you, this poster right here actually is kind of special to me. This is there. I've learned recently it's actually very rare. It's a Star Trek poster. It's got two Klingon birds of prey flying over some uh, asteroid bases, and that was produced back in the early '90s, and it stopped, and people now look for this one especially. And I was when I was very young. started loving Star Trek, and I had someone that I knew my mother who bought me a bunch of posters from Hobby Lobby that were Star Trek posters. Since then, I have lost all of them except for that one. That one's been hanging in my room for 30 plus years, in one room or another. And so this one, this is my writing room, but I decided I wanted it up because it's my nod to Star Trek and nod to my where I started.
I can't see it. I need to change this.
Does
Oh my goodness.
it look clearer now?
Okay, I see the bird. Okay, I see where it is. It was in the middle. I'm like, what bird of prey is he talking about? I only saw one. Okay, there it is. Perfect. I see it now.
Yep. And that's a special piece to me. As I said, it's just a poster. It's just a Star Trek poster, but it it harkens back to my early days of being a big Trekkie fan. And I don't know what happened to the rest of them because that's years and years have passed and all things have come and gone.
Very nice. Very nice. Nobody had any ideas for the pumpkin carving. None whatsoever. I find that hard to believe. I'm still waiting for responses. Come on, people. Get with the program. And don't forget to like and share. Obviously, you're on Facebook watching. I can tell. Thank you. I only see one like.
Oh, come on, people. I know you're there. I know you're there.
It almost makes me want to just quit. I don't feel the love anymore. Unbelievable. I don't know. Well, I don't even know now if I even want Sylvia on the show. She's going to be like, oh, you're not even popular anymore. People don't love you anymore. I don't want to be on there. I'm going to be like, no, Sylvia, please come on the show. She's going to be like, no, your ratings are tanking.
Oh, no. We'll be fine.
I don't know, Dan. It's looking, I don't know. Oh, look at that. The count has gone up. Yay. See? All right. So maybe there's hope. There's hope. And Sylvia will be like, yes,
no,
I will come on your show. Look at that. You know what? You're loved. I know, John. It's all right. I'm just kidding. So, yeah.
Shall I regale you with the experience of the worst Comic-Con I've ever been to?
So far or today or like recently?
Probably the worst I've ever been to. I've been to quite a few.
So give us, all right, so let me ask some questions here to start us off here. What would be the date? What year?
Oh, it was this past weekend.
Oh, so very recently.
Yeah.
Oh, do tell, please. Where is it?
This is what I was telling you at the beginning at Canterbury Village.
Oh, so we're gonna blast them. So
I'll start by saying this. It was their first one. It was experimental because they'd never done one before, and there was a lot of it has a lot of promise. If they really put some effort into it, next year it could be a really great event.
Okay, so explain what happened first. I'm not going to judge them just yet. I'll wait to see why. What happened?
We were outdoors at the Canterbury Village, and all the vendors, myself included, were set on the grass. I'm on a hill slightly, so every time I put my books down on the table and I set them up, they slide off.
Okay, so what was the weather like that day?
It was 80 degrees the first day, and then 90 degrees the second.
Okay.
And it was almost 80% humidity.
Oh my goodness.
It was very sticky, very hot. And here in Detroit area, there's an event that happens once a year, every year, called Dream Cruise. It's on Woodward Avenue. It's where all these car guys from all over the country get together, and they do this big parade of cars, of classic cars, antique cars, really spruced up cars. It's a big deal. Jay Leno was there to look at cars and show off some of his. I mean, it's a big deal. It's one of the biggest things in Southeast Michigan, same weekend. So there's a lot of people there. And we have one of the largest Renaissance festivals in the Midwest here in Holly, Michigan, which is not too far from this. Its opening weekend was the same weekend. So for day one, we had maybe 100 people there to visit. Day two, which is only 2 days, maybe 25. So nobody there. Hot as I can stand it, because I'm in, even though I have a canopy tent over me, the sun's coming in an angle. I'm in the sun the whole day. So I almost got sun poisoning by the second day.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And then, and that also, the few people that were there, I'm direct sunlight. You're not going to stop at my booth to look at books when you're sweltering. So, and here in Michigan, when it hits 90, that's like Death Valley to them. I can handle high temperatures. I grew up in them, but they haven't. So 90 degrees was brutal for a lot of these people. 90 degrees was brutal.
I did the same thing you did.
And then, yeah. And then to top that off, right across from me where I'm sitting, they have an outdoor theater that they use for all their events. And they put a guy on the stage that for 6 of the 8 hours I'm there, he's sitting on stage playing acoustic guitar, singing folk songs nonstop.
Oh, no.
It wasn't bad. It was just nonstop. So very loud, lots of bugs. Lots of bugs. We have a lot of rain, and this is Lake Orion. We're literally right near a sitting water lake. So mosquitoes, bees, hornets, wasps, carpenter bees, jar flies, black flies, just all around, all over. Now, I will say I made good friends with some of the other vendors. And there's a vendor that's actually a permanent vendor at Canterbury Village. She was open for this. They have some permanent buildings there. And she runs an herbalist shop where she sells plants and essential oils and stuff like that. And I know either I need a good bug spray because I think mosquitoes are bad, or lemongrass oil because mosquitoes hate the smell of lemongrass oil. They'll stay away from it. So something to mitigate the mosquito problem. I went over to this lady and I asked about that. She goes, "Oh, no, wait, here." She went and got me a bottle of essential oils she mixed up that had lemongrass and eucalyptus and a whole bunch of different oils in it, a mixture. And I sprayed it on. It was the best bug spray I've ever used. It smelled nice because it's all just fresh essential oils. And the moment I used it from that point on, no bugs. So she educated me on that. It's great bug spray. Very nice, very clean.
Yep.
Another lady I helped put her tent up because she was struggling. She makes homemade fudge. That's her big business. She does this fudges. And she gave me some bricks of her homemade fudge. And let me tell you something. It was fantastic fudge. So, I mean, there were positives during the day, but I was in pain. I was hot, sticky. Nobody was there. And the noise was off the charts from the music playing constantly. So now, that all said, I mean, why I call it the worst is because honestly, I've never truly been that uncomfortable and that much discomfort at a Comic-Con ever. I was the guy organizing this event packed up and left 2 hours before it was supposed to be over on Sunday. No one was there. So we ended up leaving hours before we were supposed to because there was nobody there. So, and I'm glad I did because I was really getting sick. So I was not pleased. However, I did talk to the company owner that organized it for him, Astronomicon, which is a Comic-Con company, has done several around here.
Yeah.
They helped him organize it. I talked to the guy who was there, and I was like, okay, there was a lot of bad about this one. Some of it you had no control over. But yeah, however, what you do have control over, here's some ideas for you. And I think you have potential. I've been to a lot of small Comic-Cons, I call them micro-cons, because like this, like 2 celebrity guests, and they were like Red Wings, hockey stars. And, you have just a few vendors. It really wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't that big of an event. But most of the small ones I go to, they're poorly run. There's no effort put out. And I'm like, you're not going to make it more than a couple years. This one has potential to actually be one of the mainstays once a year at this Canterbury place because they do stuff every single weekend from early spring through the middle of fall. So this could be one of their yearly weekends is this cosplay and Comic-Con event, but they need to move it to like October where it's cooler. They can combine it with like Halloween for costuming. They also, need to bring in some different guests, maybe to bring in people. And again, not hold it when other big events here are all going on at the exact same time. So, there are some details. But again, it was their first one. I'll give them credit for trying, and they have potential. But if they do the same thing next year, I won't be going back. If they do it the same time, same look, I'm like, it's not worth it. So it was an interesting weekend. Definitely different. But I'm glad it's over. Really, really glad it's over.
I guess, yeah. Well, that's too bad. I'm pretty sure you can let somebody know and say something to someone about your experience, like the people that organized it. Did you let them know exactly what happened?
Yeah, I talked
Why
about
would
it.
they leave 2 hours before? Like, that makes no sense.
Well, as I said,
I've been very upset.
they had a costume contest for the kids both Saturday and Sunday. The adult costume contest was only Saturday. So Sunday, 3 in the afternoon or 3:30, they held their costume contest.
Yeah.
Once it was done, the few people who were visiting left. They were done. And as we started looking around and walking around, because it wasn't a big event, walking around looking, it's like they're only the vendors and park workers here. Nobody's here. And then I started noticing half the vendors were already taking down their tents, putting away their stuff. I'm like, okay. I went to ask the guy who's in charge, are we supposed to be leaving this early? And he's already literally packed up and hauling off. I'm like, okay, we're done. So, yeah. As I said, there was positives, but there were a lot more negatives, but there was room to work. I'll give them that. I'm not going to totally bash it, say they were terrible people. No, they tried something. Next year, try a little harder. I've been to a lot of events. I know some of the ways they work and some of the ways they don't.
Yeah. Hello to my sister. Welcome. Late, as usual.
Hi, Ashley.
So
once again, we are thinking about doing a pumpkin carving contest. Do we have suggestions from the audience? Will people be willing to participate? You can carve your pumpkin the week of the show and just show us your pumpkin. You don't have to do it on the show. In fact, I wager Brian and I are going to have ours carved before the show, not on the show, so we can just show off what we do. And we will carve them ourselves. I can sense something going on in that brain of yours there.
I will carve it. That's not good try. Damn. No, I'll carve it myself. In between, can I just point out this feature on Facebook? So as people comment and watch and participate, you guys get badges. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Maybe you do because it says it next to your name, but I didn't know that. For instance, John Clark is a anniversary follower, so he has a badge for that. So thanks for watching us for so long. I believe my aunt has one as well. Ashley, though. Ashley has 2 badges, which is pretty cool. She's a top fan. So thanks for being a top fan. And she's also 3 years now. She's been following a 3-year badge for anniversary badge. So pretty cool. Joe William, I will try to carve something. Will be pretty basic.
Hello, hi, Joe.
Hello,
Joe's an old friend of mine.
Joe is a sharer, by the way. It just popped up. So, and a follower. So thanks. Welcome, Joe. Good to see you.
I know Joe's told me several times because he plays Heroes Rising, and he'll tell me that he watches the show afterwards and
yep.
doesn't always catch it live. So I'm glad you're on here live, Joe. And John, I'm terrible at pumpkin carving.
Like I said, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I might just do a jack-o'-lantern or something simple. Anyone know what I should carve or what we should carve? Or should we just randomly come up with something? John is terrible at pumpkin carving.
Well,
Well,
it's to have fun. That's kind of the point here. It's just have fun. Do something you haven't done in years.
are you one to? So, are you one to like bake the seeds? Do you keep the seeds and you bake them in the oven and then you roast them with some salt and pepper and
I've done that. I've done
pumpkin
that. I
seeds?
haven't. I haven't done that in a while, but yeah, back when I was a kid, especially, we'd always wash the seeds and then toss them in some sea salt or something and roast them in the oven.
There you go.
Random.
My sister's saying something random. I have to do just something random. All right.
I still say try something Disney.
Something Disney.
Something Disney.
Oh. Okay. I'm pretty sure that I can come up with something.
Even Amber agrees. Something Disney.
Find a cool Disney one. Oh. Just
Ooh.
have fun. I used to grow pumpkins. I wish I could grow pumpkins. I love pumpkin.
You probably could if you have space. I grew pumpkins
I don't.
way back when I was younger. I had space out in Oklahoma to plant a pumpkin vine. I think 1 or 2 years I did it.
Yeah, nope. Unfortunately, I don't have the space to grow pumpkins. Otherwise, I would.
When I was back in Oklahoma when I was a kid, our neighborhood we lived in had a community garden that was down at the very end, and one of the people there would grow a pumpkin vine, a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin vine. At the end of the season, they'd have jack-o'-lantern pumpkins on it, and we'd go out there and be able to, each of us, all the kids, get to pick one out. And then the rest of them, they take them and chop them in half and stick them out because we had a deer and other animals out there in the little thicket that was behind our neighborhood, and they love pumpkin.
Yeah, I absolutely love pumpkin. I'm trying to find a.
One thing I find almost annoying as a cook is nothing typically is actually pumpkin spice flavored because there's no pumpkin in it. There's the pie spice, which is almost identical in apple pie, pumpkin pie, pecan pies have it. It's a spice cake, all that. It's a blend of clove and nutmeg and cinnamon that makes the flavor, and that's the flavor you're getting. So there's no actual pumpkin. And tell you something, if you put pumpkin in coffee, it tastes pretty awful, I think. Do Stitch. I had a friend try to carve a Stitch, I think, last year. For my game night I host here at the house last couple of years, I have done pumpkin carving contests, but I haven't carved any with them because I'm usually hosting, so I'm running around. But I had one of my friends try to do a Stitch, and it was pretty good.
Stitch, huh?
Ashley says, I'm not a fan of the pumpkin spice. Yeah, it actually can be kind of bitter. Without sweetness, the spices that you use for pumpkin pie flavoring are a bitter flavor. They're strong. Nutmeg and clove and all they're aromatic spices. So they're really good smelling, but they're bitter to the taste. Sweetening them takes the bitterness away and brings out the flavor. So that's why a lot of stuff from Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, when they do pumpkin spice flavored stuff, it's really rich, heavy, sweet coffees and stuff because you need a lot of sweet to bring out that flavor.
I don't like Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice, whatever. I think it's disgusting. And yes, trust me, I know. I drink Dunkin' Donuts every single day. Today I had some sort of ice tiger latte. I don't know, but it was really good.
Here's a tip.
Starbucks, I will drink though. Pumpkin spice latte. I will drink one of those.
It's like their 20-year anniversary of it this year, I think.
What?
Yep, it's been 20 years since Starbucks first introduced the pumpkin spice flavored coffee.
Yay.
But here's a tip for you. For anybody who's listening, if you want pumpkin spice flavored coffee, then get nutmeg, clove, and cinnamon powdered, or you can get fresh and grind it, but that's a lot of work. And if you're making a fresh pot of coffee at home in the coffee grounds, just put in a teaspoon or less of each, mix it into the grounds before you brew it, and the hot water will infuse the oils of the spice in with your coffee, and you'll get a flavor. And you can adjust it. If you like the clove floral taste better than the hearty nutmeg, you can kind of balance it. And the cinnamon's a real strong. People love cinnamon, add extra cinnamon into it. So if you want pumpkin spice flavored coffee, just dish it into your own, and you can make it your own balance. If you like a real strong flavor or a little weak flavor, it's up to you. It's that simple.
There you go, folks. Simple.
You can surprise your coworkers, make a pot of coffee for them, and make your own version of pumpkin spice. My problem is I'm not a big fan of Starbucks coffee because Starbucks traditionally, their coffee is over roasted. That's what gives them that real dark flavor. They burn the coffee beans, so it's too dark. It's too burnt flavor to me. So it makes it extra bitter. And as I said, most spices are fundamentally a bitter flavor with an aromatic spice flavor to it. So you put bitter and bitter together, it gets awful strong. That's why they have to add so much sweet to it. So if I make my own pumpkin spice coffee at the house, I can make a whatever flavor of coffee I want, whatever darkness of coffee, and spice it myself.
I am not a Starbucks coffee drinker. Just the lattes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Pike coffee.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Too strong. I agree.
Where we're at, do you have Tim Hortons where you're at?
No, but
we are covered in Tim Hortons.
Yeah, I have been to one though. Yep.
Give me a white hot chocolate and I'm good. I don't think I've ever had white hot chocolate. I've had, regular hot chocolates of all kinds.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's talking of a bygone era of when Dunkin' Donuts did white hot chocolate, and it was very good.
Huh.
But it's been a couple of years since they've done that. So, sorry.
I should try to make one at home.
It was very good. Very, very good.
You just drink Cumberland Farms iced coffee. Yep.
Do you have Cumberland Farms where you are? I'm pretty sure you do. No?
Not that I'm aware of, but I don't drink a lot of coffees because I'm allergic to caffeine. So I don't know if
Cumberland Farms is a gas station.
Oh, then no. I knew.
Oh. Well, you guys don't have them out there. Okay.
Nope.
I'm surprised. Cumberland Farms is everywhere. It's like Dollar General.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm pretty sure you have Dollar General.
Ooh. John Clark says he's had peppermint hot chocolate. That's tasty. I love me some mint hot chocolate. I love mint anything. So
peppermint hot chocolate.
In fact, if you ever come to my place, to my room or my writing room, you're going to walk in and you're going to smell mint because I actually put mint oil all over the room because it keeps spiders and ants and stuff away. And I also like the way it smells. Cumberland Farms is a unicorn purple hot chocolate.
I would question that one.
I would think my brain would be going, this is supposed to taste like grape because grape is purple.
Unicorn purple hot chocolate. Interesting.
You can buy the individual packages of white hot chocolate also, says Amber.
Oh, there you go.
As I said, I'm interested to see about trying to find that. But also, if you make homemade hot chocolate, where you shave hot, chocolates into the milk and get them heat up, I'm sure you can get white chocolate and do that. I've never thought of doing that, and it's funny because I love white chocolate.
I just why I just skip the whole process of just making it. Just open a packet and just eat it. Just eat it. No water required. Just eat that shit.
You like powdered?
Marshmallows and all. No, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure I did that as a kid, though.
I could see myself doing that, definitely.
Yep. Just fudgy. Oh, I do remember it now. Oh, God, that was. Yep. No, never mind.
Yeah. Ashley and Amber both agree they like mint. It tastes like sugar milk, like the milk after eating Fruit Loops. Yeah. That would be. Yeah, that's right.
Interesting. Unicorn purple hot chocolate that tastes like
Sweetened milk.
sweetened milk like Fruit Loops.
Interesting. Very interesting.
At Cumberland Farms.
I have learned that I didn't know this growing up, but regionally, every region has its own specialty gas stations. Down in Tennessee, it was Weigel's. Up here, they have 7-Elevens that are super specialty.
I have a 7-Eleven here in town. Yeah.
In Oklahoma, it was 7-Elevens, and it was, I can't think of the name of it now, but they all were big truck stops. Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's? You would know if you've been to a Buc-ee's. It's a giant gas station. They have like 75 gas pumps.
I think I might have on 95.
It's probably because they you only find them on the major highways and stuff.
Big place, I know that. Yeah, huge. Big red lettering, right, or something like that.
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah, something.
And they have like a what is it? A groundhog or something is their mascot.
Oh,
yeah. But it's huge. The place is monstrous, and they do all their own homemade foods there. That they do their own smoked meats, and they have pastry department. That they have bakery. They have jerky department. I mean, the place is massive. We have one between us and Tennessee. And since we drive back and forth there on a regular basis, we stop there on our way to and from, and it's fantastic, but it's overwhelming. That one, it comes out of Texas. That kind of makes sense. Everything's bigger in Texas. Oh yes, Land O'Lakes. They make the hot chocolate packets that are special, and they're nice. I've had those. Those are good.
Interesting.
I personally like to make my hot chocolate in a cup of hot decaf coffee. Because coffee complements chocolate. In fact, that's a little tip I'll give people. If you're making a chocolate cake and you put a few tablespoons, even up to half a cup of instant coffee into your mix, you will not taste the coffee, but it will make the chocolate taste extra strong. Oh yes, Love's. Oh, I forgot about Love's gas stations. And they a new Buc-ee's is moving out west, so they're gonna be in Colorado. They're a great place. I mean, we go there. Their barbecue is fabulous.
Love's is in New York.
Yeah, they have a few out here. I know I've seen some Love's here, and there was somewhere else I saw Love's. So they're around. Putting what together? Sorry, we were kind of jumping around here.
I think your ingredients.
Putting the coffee, instant coffee in the cake mix, or hot chocolate and coffee.
Oh, you can get that at Dunkin' Donuts. They sell that.
Yeah, that's not that uncommon. But I've had people who never had that before, and I show it to them, and they're like, "This tastes like the best hot chocolate I've ever had." I'm like, "Yeah, this coffee complements chocolate. Yep. They're both bitter. That's something else. Chocolate is a bitter flavor, just like coffee. by adding cream and sugar to coffee to chocolate, we make it taste really luscious. But by itself, it is bitter. And so coffee's bitter, chocolate's bitter. You put them together, the flavor of the coffee makes the chocolate taste extra strong, and the sweetness of the chocolate
What?
makes it.
You've never heard of coffee and hot chocolate together? Where have you been, Ashley? Under a rock? Like, seriously, what is your problem?
I keep packets of hot chocolate around. So when I make a cup of coffee, I pour the hot chocolate into the coffee, mix it up, and you want to add a little extra sweetener to it because the coffee is strong and the chocolate's a bitter. You're putting a lot of bitter together, so a little extra sweetener in that, and it'll make it really good.
Everybody knows about that, Ashley. Get with the program. So who knows what's happening for next week? There could be a guest. I put a big rock, I guess. Yeah. I put the request out there. So again, if anyone has any ideas, only because Halloween is coming, fall is coming. So I can't wait for fall myself.
I've never been a
forward to it.
big fan of fall.
Really?
But I think part of the reason is because my birthday lands right before fall begins, and I hate that. So it kind of makes it dismal. But more and more, I'm learning to enjoy it.
I mean, yeah, I'm not looking forward to winter, but I like fall.
Like I've said, my philosophy has grown over the years into I will find how to enjoy where I'm at because hating it doesn't change it. So
yeah, you can't. Yeah, there's nothing you can do, unfortunately. It's you live wherever you live, and whatever weather patterns you have to get used to them. There's just nothing you can do unless you move somewhere.
I've had more people tell me here, oh, you'll learn to hate the snow, and I'm like, why? Does that stop it? Does that make it go away? No.
Makes no difference, folks.
So I'll enjoy it. Fall. Now I'll say this: growing up in Oklahoma, fall was just cool and dead. Everything turns brown. We don't have color there. It's just dismal.
Yeah.
East Tennessee to here, fall is colorful, and until my adult life, I really didn't experience fall with color. So when fall rolls in, I let go of that animosity and I look at this is beautiful. I'm going to enjoy it while it's here.
Yeah, that's why I enjoy it. So, because I live in an area where it's a very touristy time when the leaves starts to change, our foliage time.
I've thought about visiting you during that time at some point. Come up and see your mountains with the fall colors.
It's very nice out here. Yeah. Yep. Especially Mount Greylock. So
I have to come up and see that sometime because I something I really dearly miss from Tennessee is the fall in the mountains and fall right there. I mean, Michigan's nice, the lakes are wonderful, but it's flat. I love the mountains. I feel like Bilbo in the Lord of the Rings. I miss the mountains.
Yep. I am surrounded by mountains up this way. So, yep. And into Vermont as well is beautiful through there. So I can't wait to take that drive because it's like a highway up towards Manchester, Vermont. So, and it's nice foliage on each side of the highway and stuff. So even running down the state of Mass, our highway, the Mass Pike to Boston, trees on both sides, all changing colors. It's beautiful. So
yeah, say here, as you said, these are already changing. Not here. It's been hot. It's been summer, and it's going to be summer and stay that way for a while.
Yeah, we're starting to cool down. We've reached 80. Now we're like high 70s. Now it's going to be, it's around what? It's supposed to be 55 tonight. Last night it was 50 overnight. So it's starting to cool down. So, yeah.
John
John.
says, I don't hate snow. I've even lived in Alaska. I get a kick out of people who panic when there's snow in the forecast. Yes, John, I'm from the South. Snow
Yeah.
is scary to a lot of people.
Yeah, especially when you don't know how to drive in it,
Oh,
or
yeah.
you're in an area that usually doesn't experience it. So
That's that I enjoy one thing here. When it snowed down south, I mean, we had it for a couple days at most, but it would stop up everything. Here, when before it snows, they've already got the roads ready. When it snows, they're clearing it off. By the time the snow is on the ground, the roads are good to go. You never have this, oh, we're locking down everything because the roads are all snow covered. No, they're on top of it, which I love. People down south like, oh, how can you live in that? Everything's covered in snow. No, they know how to handle it. They know what they're doing.
mm.
Otherwise, a place as big as Metro Detroit would be really hard pressed if everything got shut down because the roads were covered in snow. Not a problem.
Well, I'm hoping that where I live, the town that I live in, does a good job this year. Please, town of Adams, please make sure you do a good job. I'm pretty sure they will. They usually do. So, but yeah. Well, it is 9 o'clock, and I think that's pretty much our show. That is it. So God only knows where I'm going to be next. I think that every show, I think that I should just be in a different room of the house to kind of show people. We'll see everyone next week, I guess, right?
Yep. Next week, we'll be here and possibly have a guest. And if you all have any more suggestions for our fall and into Christmas season, let us know. Have a good night, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks.